Sorry.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been over 5 years since the East Valley Dream Center has launched. And together with our donors, who we call Mutual Dreamers, and our volunteers, who we call Dream Makers, we've been able to see amazing things happen in the East Valley of Arizona.
Thanks to you all, we've been able to provide resources for our families, give them experiences, but most importantly, the ability to dream again. We're still mission-minded to eradicate poverty here in the East Valley, and we're not going to waver from that mission.
Poverty can happen because of many reasons. And while we're amazed by all that's taken place in the past 5 years, whether it's families leaving subsidized housing to buy homes, or to giving groceries to our families at Great Saturday, or even just recently seeing a child smile as they go on that snow sled during Thanksmas. We're just excited for what the future holds here at the East Valley Dream Center. So in the beginning of 2025, we're going to focus on 3 areas that are near and dear to our hearts. So what do? We mapped out a 3-year plan that we're going to work on with our families and the city of Chandler as well. And these 3 areas that we identified that maybe can lead to poverty. So the first is lack of economic knowledge. The second is emotional health. And lastly, our third is formal education taking a backseat to the pressures of everyday life. In 2025, we want to focus on educating. That's the word that's going to be in our minds, is educating. We want to educate our community, educate our families, our volunteers in certain areas. I believe to have knowledge is to have power. So that's the first thing we're going to work out in 2025. And then in 2026, we want to work on becoming more established. Our families grow from being dependent to becoming independent. Our team and volunteers becoming even more proficient on how to help our families in practical but impacting ways. And then in 2027, we're going to work on expanding. Our families now being the ones helping, mentoring, leading new individuals that are introduced to us. So let's go into 2025, which I'm really excited about. So when it comes to emotional health and economics, we're going to be diving in and educating our families, adults, and child all alike how to think, talk, approach these areas. In these low-income communities, emotional health is not prioritized. It can even be discouraged, and traditionally is looked upon as weakness or ridiculed. Statistically, domestic abuse is higher, which some of you probably know, in low-income communities across the nation. Research indicates that living in poverty can impact a person's ability to regulate their emotions because of stress, which can lead to difficulty in controlling anger, anxiety, and other feelings. We want to educate both adults and kids in real-world economics as well, how it impacts them. We want to teach them on words like inflation and why would it matter to them? What does investing mean and how to start saving for a future? We want teenagers to know what taxes are and how it impacts their check when they start working. These families are going to get videos, receive newsletters, attend sessions, and even get one-on-one support. This will really equip our families with the knowledge and community that's going to help them avoid living a life plagued by poverty. Another area which we're going to focus on, which I'm really excited about, is education. Research states that to have a strong foundation in reading and math, one must apply that in early years. So our first project with education we're going to focus on is tutoring. We're going to tutor kids from kindergarten to 4th grade. We're going to partner with qualified educators to create curriculum that makes sure our kids are receiving the proper help and reflect on their homework and tests. This is going to ensure that they're going to be ready for the next steps like middle school and high school. We're currently partnering with Anderson Junior High School, and we're going to be launching an after-school program beginning of January 2025. This is not just going to be any after-school program at all. We're going to work with our school administration, which is at Anderson Junior High, to select certain students who need extra support, such as discipline, lesson retention, and overall purpose. This is going to be a 9-week course designed for these students to participate in. And lastly, amazing events. I believe a way to help a person out of poverty is to expose them to amazing experiences here at the East Valley Dream Center. And how is that going to happen? It's going to be through our events. So we're going to host a total of 5 events in 2025. This begins with Great Saturday, which we're going to host one in February and May. And we're still going to provide free resources to our community and connecting with them and meeting their current needs. And then another amazing event. At the conclusion of the summer, we're going to host our Kickstart School Readiness event, which provides kids with the backpacks and shoes ready for school. This is something we've always been passionate about, so we're going to continue our partnership with the Chandler Public Schools. And in October, we're going to host our annual Fall Fest. And this is an exciting time as the weather starts getting cool. And we're going to encourage our families and their children to come out with their costumes and interact with us and both our community partners as we provide candy, games, and other fun activities. And then our biggest event, which is Thanksmas in November. Here we give out toys, Thanksgiving meals, and offer a free magical experience for our families, carnival rides, food, and prizes. You know, since I was a kid, I knew people dealing with poverty are at a disadvantage when it comes to education, job opportunities, and much more. You know, we have a passion for walking with our families and teaching them from everything I just mentioned. The thing with a high importance to me is that the staff and volunteers working with our families is not only to catch our vision, but to have a vision of their own that makes them dream bigger for our community and for the city of Chandler. So, to all of our volunteers existing and new, you'll be making a huge difference in people's lives. To our current donors and future donors, you will feel and see the difference you are making in people's lives. So thank you to everyone that has believed in us and continue to believe. I'm excited to bring you more stories from the East Valley Dream Center.